So, buckle up, cause we're diving into the most batshit crazy birth stories from Greek mythology that will leave you wondering what the hell they were smoking on Mount Olympus. These are arranged from least weird to most weird. Number 1. Orion. Orion's birth starts with the divine trio of Zeus, Poseidon, and Hermes deciding to visit a mortal named Hyrieus. This guy is known for his incredible hospitality, so naturally, the gods, in their infinite twisted wisdom, decide to reward him. During their stay, Hyrieus treats them to a feast fit for, well, gods. In return, they grant him one wish. Hyrieus, having no children, wishes for a son. The gods oblige in the weirdest way possible. They take the hide of the bull Hyrieus sacrificed for their meal, whip out their godly dicks, and piss all over it, because apparently that's divine magic. Then they bury it in the earth, and voila! From the magical piss-infused soil springs Orion, a towering hulk of a man destined to be the ultimate hunter. So, next time you're wishing for something, just remember, the gods might just piss on a hide and bury it in your backyard. Number 2. Adonis. Mirha was a knockout princess, and the daughter of King Cinyras. Her mom, Cincraes, had the bright idea to boast that Mirha was hotter than Aphrodite, the actual goddess of beauty. Big mistake. Aphrodite, being the ultimate diva, decides she's not taking that insult lying down. So, she curses Mirha with an uncontrollable lust for her own dad. Yeah, it's messed up. Under this curse, Mirha goes full soap opera. With a little help from her nurse, who clearly missed the ethics class, she disguises herself and seduces her dad over several nights. Eventually, Cinyras figures out he's been sleeping with his own daughter, and, predictably, flips his shit. Enraged, he tries to kill Mirha, but she manages to escape, running off into the wilderness in utter shame. Desperate and praying for any escape from her living nightmare, the gods decide to throw her a bone and turn her into a myrrh tree. But because Greek mythology just can't leave well enough alone, even as a tree, she's not off the hook. She ends up pregnant with her dad's child. After months of bark-bound pregnancy, the tree splits open, and out pops Adonis. The next time you think your family drama is bad, just remember, at least you didn't end up knocked up and turned into a tree. Number 3. Pegasus. Before she was a monster, Medusa was a total babe. Poseidon, the horndog god of the sea, couldn't keep it in his toga and decided he had to have her. So, he does what Greek gods do best and gets it on with Medusa right there in Athena's temple. Athena walks in, and let's just say she's not thrilled about her sacred space being sprayed with erotic fluids. So, she blames Medusa because, apparently, victim blaming was all the rage back then. Athena transforms Medusa into a gorgon. Fast forward to Perseus. Perseus sneaks into Medusa's lair. He uses the shield like a medieval rearview mirror to avoid turning into stone, and with one swift slice, he beheads her. From Medusa's blood, out pops not just one, but 2 offspring. Chrysaor, a giant wielding a golden sword, and Pegasus, the most majestic winged horse you've ever seen. How the hell a horse with wings comes out of a gorgon's blood is anyone's guess. It's Greek mythology, man. Screw logic, bring on the drama. Number 4. Helen of Troy. This one starts with Zeus and his insatiable appetite for, well, pretty much everyone. One day, Zeus sets his sights on Leda, the smoking hot mortal queen of Sparta. But Zeus being Zeus, he doesn't just approach her like a normal god. Nope, he transforms into a swan, because, clearly, nothing says romance like feathers and quacking. Zeus as swan seduces Leda in a scene that's more WTF than romantic. And just to keep things interesting, on the same night, Leda also gets busy with her mortal husband, King Tyndareus. This double-duty action leads to one hell of a complicated pregnancy. Leda ends up laying 2 freaking eggs, and from these eggs hatch 4 kids, Helen, Clytemnestra, and the twins Castor and Pollux. Helen and Pollux are considered the divine love children of Zeus, while Clytemnestra and Castor are the mortal offspring of Tyndareus. So, Helen, with her godly genes, grows up to be drop-dead gorgeous, so much so that her beauty is said to launch 1,000 ships. Talk about a look that can kill. Number 5. Aphrodite. Aphrodite's whole mess kicks off with Uranus, the sky god who's definitely not winning any Father of the Year awards. He and Gaia, the earth goddess, have a bunch of kids, but Uranus hates them, especially the Cyclopes and the Hecatoncheires. So, what does this stellar dad do? He shoves them back into Gaia's womb. Real classy move, dude. Gaia, understandably pissed off, hatches a revenge plan with her Titan son, Cronus. She hands Cronus a sickle, and, like any overachieving son looking to impress his mom, Cronus uses it to ambush Uranus. And boy, he goes straight for the family jewels, slicing off Uranus's balls and tossing them into the sea. because nothing says family feud quite like a cosmic castration. Now, here's where it gets truly bonkers. From the sea foam generated by Uranus's severed nuts, Aphrodite emerges. Yep, the goddess of beauty is born from the aftermath of a divine dick chop. She floats to shore on a shell, ready to kick off her career as the goddess forever tied to beauty, love, and the occasional chaos that comes with both. So next time you think your family's got issues, just remember, at least you weren't born from your granddad's severed balls. Number 6. Athena. Athena's birth story is less about balls and more about literal head banging. This crazy tale starts with Zeus marrying Medes, the goddess of wisdom. Everything's going great until Zeus gets wind of a troubling prophecy. Medes' first kid will be a daughter, but her second will overthrow him, just like he did with dear old dad, Cronus. Zeus, the ultimate pro in the family betrayal game, decides he can't let that shit slide. In a move that should be filed under extreme problem solving, Zeus swallowed Medes whole while she was pregnant, because apparently that's how gods handle potential threats. Just gulp them down like a protein shake. This seemed like a foolproof plan until Zeus began suffering from earth-shattering headaches. Turns out, swallowing a goddess of wisdom isn't great for your mental health. Who knew? Desperate for relief, Zeus had Hephaestus, the blacksmith god, crack open his skull with an axe. Out sprang Athena, fully armored and ready for battle. From Zeus's noggin, she let out a war cry that shook the heavens and earth, announcing her arrival as the goddess of wisdom, war, and strategy. So, next time you have a headache, just go to a doctor, not a god with an axe. Number 7. Dionysus. There are two versions surrounding the birth of Dionysus. In the first one, Zeus hooks up with Semele, a mortal princess, because he just can't keep it in his toga. Hera, his wife, isn't exactly thrilled about this affair. Being the queen of pettiness, Hera decides to royally screw with Semele. Hera goes undercover, disguising herself as an old nurse and cozying up to Semele. In their chats, she plants seeds of doubt, suggesting that if Zeus really loves her, he should reveal his true divine form. Semele, young and naive, falls for this trap and demands Zeus show himself as he really is. Bound by his promise and unable to refuse, Zeus appears in his true godly form, and, predictably, seeing Zeus in all his divine glory is like staring straight into the sun. It's overwhelming and lethal. Semele gets incinerated on the spot, but Zeus, thinking on his feet, manages to save their unborn child by sewing the fetus into his thigh. Because, hey, why not? That's just how shit rolls in Olympus. A few months later, Zeus gives birth from his thigh to Dionysus, the god of wine, revelry, and all things batshit crazy. This makes Dionysus the only god to have two births, one from his incinerated mom and one from Zeus's freaking thigh. In the second version of this story, Dionysus' name is Zagreus. So, Zeus, always on the lookout for his next hookup, sets his sights on Persephone, the queen of the underworld, and, oh yeah, his own daughter. He seduces her, and soon enough, Persephone is pregnant with Zeus's child. Now, Persephone retreats to a safe place to give birth to Zagreus. This kid is special, marked for greatness with connections to both the heavens and the underworld. Recognizing his potential, Zeus declares that Zagreus will be his heir and the future king of the gods. Naturally, this pisses off a bunch of folks, especially Hera. So, she lures little Zagreus to the Titans. They go full savage, tearing Zagreus apart limb by limb and chowing down on his remains. It's a brutal buffet of godly proportions. Zeus, discovering this atrocity, is overcome with rage and sorrow. He strikes down the Titans with his thunderbolts, reducing them to ashes. However, Athena manages to save Zagreus' heart from the carnage. She brings it to Zeus, who then swallows the heart. Later, Zagreus is reborn as the god of rebirth, but with his powers seriously nerfed. So, there you have it. Fucked up births of Greek mythology. If you thought your family tree was twisted, just be glad you're not part of this shit.